question. Did Champion and Vanderpool run already earlier, or did I miss that, or have they not run?
Oh, okay. I didn't know I didn't even see him. I must have been in the garage. I didn't see him run. And just like that, back with a quickness. Last battle of the top 32. So this will be Cory Shake Mendenhall leading Darren Honorati. Shake getting real nice over there by the tire wall. Nice transition into the flick back and getting into that rear touch and go. Running a little bit shallow on line, coming through that last zone, but definitely good. So that was the second battle. Did have
this pairing.
Yeah, did have an issue where we were offline for just a second. Looks like Darren running a pretty shallow line through there.
Yeah.
Just trying to keep up. Still there. Nice fill of the rear zone from both drivers. Looked like Darren may have possibly been on the path of over rotation, facing right there into the grid tent.
On his lead.
They might have got nervous. I would have too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So this is the final battle of our top 32 bracket. We'll go straight into top 16 after that.
Yeah, yesterday we did the formal, the cars drive up and stuff like that.
That was really cool.
That was cool. That was kind of an experimental thing just because we had somebody to sing the national anthem. And
she couldn't make it today.
Yeah, she couldn't make it today, so I think we're going to
definitely add that to the schedule
yeah,
for the future.
Yeah, definitely have that for the future. But so there we see Anthony Woods down there with the, what does he call it, the tuxedo Suburban or whatnot, down there making the call for the winners.
Stoneburner won.
All right.
Yeah, Dan Stoneburner won. So I'll go down the list up to this point. So up to this point, Andy Wright got a bye straight into the top 16. Frank Evans beat Tyler Williams. Gray Champion beat Kyle Vanderpool. Pausing quickly just to let you know, they determined that was a one more time, too close to call. So they're going to run that again.
On the Honorati versus Shake, yes, one more time. All right, cool.
Yeah, since the folks at home missed the first half of that battle anyway, it kind of works out so they can see the whole thing anyway. But, yeah, so Vanderpool, Canada beat Nate McDuffie. Jacob Taylor got a bye. Brett Diart beat Troy Rowland. Paul Smith got a bye. Curtis Mabry beat A.J. White. Max Zeber got a bye straight into top 16. Jake Little beat Oleg Volkov. Stoneburner beat Wesley Him. Brandon Goodman beat Derek Gaskins. Dustin Walker got a bye run in this top 16. Ben Phillips broke, so Vlad essentially got the easy win and just got a bye run there. Anton beat Pat Bray, and then this is the final battle of Darren versus Cory. The blue FR86 versus the S13 hatch with the V8 sticking through the hood.
Copy that. All right, we got Honorati leading Mendenhall for one more time. Go ahead, Anton.
Here we go. Second half of the one more time battle. Got Darren Honorati in lead and Cory Shake Mendenhall, the legend, in chase.
I got a little correction by Darren out front there for a second.
I missed that.
He's got a little bit of a gap going. Hopefully he can correct that rear zone. Looked like he might have, rather than overshooting it like the first time. Learn from your mistakes. That's a good way to go. Okay, watch it again here. There was maybe a little bobble correction right there.
Yeah, don't want to get in those tires. And then almost kind of drove past that second clip, but we'll see what the judges have to say. That was one thing with yesterday is I shouldn't be so opinionated. Trust the judges. Let them make their call. So here we go. Shaky is going to lead, and Darren Honorati in chase. Shake coming in with a very nice entry, making use of that whole track, getting into that rear zone. Nice transition there on the front. Darren is right there with him, running a little bit shallow line to keep up. Shaky's going to come around and finish it out. Little touch of the dirt just to let you know he's there. And Darren following suit. So right there, as we see the replay. Getting very nice into that rear zone, man. Very nice. So they'll roll down to Anthony Woods. Anthony Woods will get the
Share
message to the
with
drivers once the judges make their call.
Yes, Rivers in. Shaky moves on, gets the win. Unanimous decision by the judges.
There you go.
All right, that
Shaky.
completes our top 16.
Seeing with that, the OK Drift guys, man, they brought out a crew today. You know.
All right, so we need to start getting the top 16 drivers up. Andy Wright versus Frank Evans, champion versus Canada. Jacob Taylor, Brett
So, oh, that commotion you heard is yesterday's champion, Andy
Wright.
Straight from Wish LZ. Yep, so Andy Wright taking home the win yesterday, getting up there in points. I believe was tied for 4th, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
And he's 2nd today. Hoping to make it even higher.
Yep. So we'll see. Just keep pushing your way through the bracket. Right there, we got
Wright leading Evans. Wright leading Evans. Go ahead and send him.
stock format engine power plant versus the LS swapped of Darren Honorati up in the front.
Ooh,
So they're coming around, utilizing that
shot.
power in every part of the track. Look like a little bit. I might have to see that from the replay
Evans,
up top.
Evans coming in strong at the end. But he was a little shallow in that second turn there before the first rear zone. You're watching when he comes around. So Andy checks up. A little shallow, but ooh, yeah, Evans close to straight, but it doesn't mean, even if he did straighten there, it doesn't mean it's a full zero.
Yeah, that
with FD
finish right there
changing.
from both drivers, man.
Yeah.
That was pretty good
He
picture.
charged and caught up with him at the end.
Yeah,
huh?
you got a picture. If you had a picture of that, that's definitely a wall hanger there. That was pretty cool. So here we go. They're going to swap roles, and
Evans will lead this time.
getting there. Evans putting down a pretty good lead line. Real nice on that front clip in the transition and that rear touch and go. Just kind of sacrificing a little bit for that rear zone. Oh, no, that might be something. Andy almost over-rotating.
Yeah.
So it looked like he kind of lost it right there at the end. I know in his head he's probably like, dang, man.
And the
dang,
judges
man,
did
dang,
mention
man. They did, yes. You
maintaining
did
drift
have to
through that
maintain
last
drift through the last corner. Absolutely, Marshall. You're 100% right on that. So, you know, tit for tat, will they go one more time? Will they have a decision?
Yeah.
I don't know, because that's not an over-rotate, but it's definitely a critical mistake.
Yeah. Huge correction to fix that.
So Andy's over-rotation at the end, we're faulting the lead driver. He decelerated in a non-decel zone. Win goes to Andy Wright.
Okay.
Huh. There you go. So from the judge's
like
mouth,
Andy Wright gets the win.
Andy Wright gets the win. They're saying that the lead driver had slowed down in an Excel zone, so basically decelled in an Excel zone. So Andy had to put it, from what they're saying, Andy had to slow it down, which was
I
abrupt.
remember earlier, they're saying there is a decel in that rear zone, but you can't stick with it very long. You gotta get your braking done and get right back.
Yeah,
on
I think
throttle.
no.
So he might have maintained braking a little too long and gave Andy nowhere to go. All right, next up we should have champion versus Canada. Looks like Diart. So Jacob Taylor and Diart. So we got two separate half pairings here.
Hey, I was seeing if there's an extra plug, you want me to go get the wireless mic with the thing for the crowd?
What would you do with that?
Talk into it.
If you, like I said, I couldn't get it to work. So I mean, if you
Well, I was
want-
just gonna grab the whole setup from in there.
oh, okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, just the speaker and everything.
Yeah.
I just didn't know if there was an extra plug.
Yeah, we can make it work.
All right.
Just unplug the one that's not working.
Say that again? Make sure you let whoever's in the pits know to get the next 2 drivers that are up.
Yeah, we need champion. All right, so this is Gray Champion. Gray Champion leading Canada in the Mustang. Ooh, good battle going here. Let's see how this ends up here. Ooh, that's good proximity with the Mustang. Gray Champion laying down a pretty good lead run, though, it looked like. All right, so we'll bring him back around and let Canada lead in the Mustang this time, and Gray Champion will follow with the blue S13. Okay, and we're about to send. Here we go, we're off. Ooh, good launch. Mustang. Oh, Gray putting it on his tail. Coming in hot. Ooh, I don't know, this could be a tough one. Little almost notchiness, I would say, by because he might have come in a little too strong and kind of, he was able to maintain drift, just had to stay a little shallow and miss that rear zone by Champion. But he had a little bit, definitely more, less proximity than Canada had.
That one goes to the Mustang. Goes to the Mustang.
Oh, bit of an upset. Canada gets the win over Gray Champion, who was, I think he was 4th in points, I want to say. Wow.
Jacob Taylor trying to take it home with it. Bumper took out the rear zone. Apologize for the crowd. We had some technical difficulties, so we just went and got the microphones. That way we can keep you guys up with the winners and the losers.
Saw that big old dirt drop trying to take it all home. So here we go. Brett Diart in lead. Jacob Taylor and Chase. Looked like Jacob had a little bit of understeer issue there, trying to get them tires going around. Diart putting down a pretty good lead run, getting into that rear zone and finishing out strong. Jacob Taylor was right there on the door. Looked like losing the front bumper now. So get the track workers to get that rear zone back up and in place for the next pairing. So due to, from the judges, what they're saying, due to the follow car being out of drift, the win is going to go to Brett Diart in the white Mustang.
Whoa, nice.
So you got next, I believe Paul Smith is making his way around. So we see, oh, there we go. All right, I can talk a little farther. I think it's still on. Oh, it's coming out my headphone. Okay, there we go. Right on. All right, cool. So it looks like Paul Smith coming down from, was parked up down there. May have had trouble getting the vehicle started or whatnot. Coming up, so we got Paul Smith, which was our round 2 winner in the blue 350Z. Going to be going up against Curtis Mabry.
And I believe he finished 5th yesterday.
Yep.
But he wasn't at round 1.
So yeah, Paul Smith finishing 5th yesterday will, having a higher qualifying score, will lead first. Curtis in chase. Random fact, Curtis drove that car, I believe, halfway across the country, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah.
That one time when he got it, man.
He flew out there and bought it and road tripped it all the way back to the East
There we
Coast.
go. Paul Smith throwing in a big e-brake initiation, getting in there, getting out to that rear zone. Curtis seemed like he might got a little bit choked up, but definitely making the progression to get back in, to get in that pocket. We'll see how they do coming around that rear zone. It's like pretty good proximity around that backside through, I guess, more or less the latter half of the course there. So we see right there in the front. Seemed like Curtis made a little bit of a correction on the replay. Both of them getting through that front clip into that rear touch and go, and then following suit into that rear zone. Both drivers finishing out pretty good. You know, that may be one thing that may be looked at is that, you know, that little bobble from Curtis right there on the first turn. So they're going to swap roles, and Curtis is going to lead. So Paul has to mirror his line and or better to come around. So both drivers look like Paul had a little bit of trouble coming out that backside too. Curtis getting close to that cone, nipping it in the bud, and trying to get deep into that rear zone, which that it was. Getting it there. If you saw Curtis earlier, yesterday took a pretty big hit from the tire wall. Earlier today in practice, got into the tire wall pretty good. So there we go. We're going to see the replay for those of you at home. It looked like Paul just tried to catch back up, cut line just a hair.
Late transition on the inner,
Yep, and then trying to shallow it up to get it back around. That's going to be a
deep for that,
kind of a tough call. We'll see what the judges have to say about that one. You can definitely see there were pros and cons to each driver's run. So being the hardest job in the house, being a judge, we want to appreciate the judges. So I was thinking Daniel, so appreciate Daniel, Josh Calla, and Nick Abbott up there doing the hardest job in the house, because not only is every call made up to you, but you're going to have friends and enemies after the event. And that's another thing that makes it real tough too, is when, you know, the drift community is such a tight-knit community, you're actually having to judge your friends and stuff like that. So
yeah, so Max Seabear's up to the line. He was our second place finisher from yesterday.
Mabry's entry was also a little late, so with the extra fault in the lead run to Mabry, we had to give it to Paul.
Paul Smith gets the win.
So there you go, Paul Smith. Paul Smith getting the win. So we try to get that, the judges' walkie-talkie. Try to get that on here for y'all so you can hear the
get in their
explanations.
minds a little bit.
Also, you know, for those of you that may not know drifting too well or just getting into the sport, kind of give you an idea of what the judges are actually critiquing to be the nitpicky stuff that they look at. So up next we got Max Seabear
versus Jake Little.
Jake Little and Chase. Should expect to see Jake kind of get up in that pocket. Max running a pretty good line. Dang, Jake putting on the pressure.
Yeah.
Nice transition through there, keeping it tight. Looks like he got lost a little bit, but reeling it in, coming around that last curve. And
finishing nicely.
Finishing out strong. Got good proximity there.
All right, the fan club's cheering him on like usual.
Hey, ain't nothing better than having, you know, when you can hear the people cheering for you when you're coming off the line. That is the best feeling in the world. Yeah, you get hyped. Just don't get too hyped, because you'll get in your head and be like, oh man, I made a mistake or whatnot. But, you know, Jake definitely turns the heat on, and we'll see here if Max can keep the fire going and keep up.
The power advantage, see what he can do. And
so there we'll see Jake probably going through. Yep, that's what I was going to say. Big old early break. Getting in there, going to push out to that rear zone. A little bit out of there, but nice transition through the front clip.
Yeah, Max Seabear known for being so
in there.
smooth.
See, Max kind of cut his own line there, so.
Okay.
Seemed like if you
deductions on both sides.
See that, but I mean, it was pretty solid lead run right there. I would say, you know, could have been a little bit deeper into that first rear zone. Coming around, could have been a little deeper there, and then a little bit. That transition actually was pretty good, getting into that rear touch and go, and then just definitely
making a little too deep there,
making the fill of the rear zone. Just overjudged it a little bit, but it's still.
And that was what Mayy had done on the previous battle.
That was a superb lead run there. You know, and Max being a tough opponent to have, you know, very consistent. Yesterday driving extremely well, coming in the second place. So we got, with that, Jake Little and Max Seabear.
And so they said Max Seabear gets the win.
The judges called Max Seabear with the win.
Must have just. Okay.
Yep. So on that, we'll see.
Hey, judges, we've got a guy who has a question about a call.
So right there, we're going to have question about a call. So coming up to the judges. So we're going to hang tight on grid.
Hey, sir. Hold on a second. We'll do it after this.
Is it? Hold on. Yeah, I can see. Yeah. All right, so right there, Stoneburner and Goodman.
A little bit of a cone going down there.
Yeah, rogue cone. It's a jump out. Stoneburner doing a pretty good job on that final turn. That seems to be, to me, a lot of make or break. Some people are getting into that rear zone. Some people are, not getting too far into that rear zone, and that was one thing that the judges were really looking at, was being able to push your car out and then also maintain drift. So we'll see the drivers come back around. We got Brandon Goodman is going to lead against Dan Stoneburner. So we got Nissan S13 in front and S14 in the back. Brandon Goodman going to power off the line, coming in, nice e-brake. Been seeing a lot of characteristic. Brandon Goodman will drag that left front tire. You'll see it probably coming around here, left foot braking in. Oh, Dan Stoneburner getting all in the grass. I thought you were a race car driver, not a landscaper, brother. So we see that, the replay. Both drivers coming out, filling that first turn, basically mimicking line perfectly. Dan is right there, running a little bit shallow there toward the end, and that could have been where it was, adjusting line a little bit, may have been detrimental and pushed out into that rear zone and got a little bit in the dirt and stuff like that. It's hard to say what's going through these drivers' heads. Obviously, I'm not in the car. Hey, don't be taking out the judges on the scissor lift there. Sorry, you got Dustin Walker. All right, so we're going to take a hiatus on grid, just taking just a second on grid. So for grid, if you want to hold for just a moment while the judges answer a question. So with that, let the volunteers get a sip of water and stuff. They're out there working hard. You can't say they're hardly working because we can see them all out there running around. So right there, we got a question from a driver to the judges, basically just getting clarification on why a call was made. We saw this yesterday. We had some protests. There were some gaps in driving. Obviously, you want to make sure that all drivers do have the right to protest. It's in our rule book, which can be found at mbdrift.com, as well as our tech sheet or anything if anybody wants to get into drifting. But the drivers are allotted the privilege to make a protest. Just, if just kind of reiterate what a protest is. A protest is nothing that's looked down upon. It's actually, one of those things that you have the right to do. So if you feel that, you got called to be...
The judges made the wrong call,
yeah, if the judges made the wrong call, you do have the ability to go up there and ask the judges,
And present evidence if you have
Yes, present evidence of how and why did this happen, and they can go through their notes. They all have notebooks up there, and most of the time...
They're upheld, yeah.
Yeah, taking videos on their
But
phones
we did
and
have
stuff
one
like that.
overturned yesterday.
Yeah.
But it happens from time to time.
Yeah. So, just basically clarifying of why this happened or why this didn't happen, and maybe there was something that wasn't seen on the judge's eyes, or maybe there was something that was seen from up top that the drivers and spectators didn't see. So, over the years, Marshall, like the last 20 years, man, we've definitely seen where there's been some protests on things that were caught from a different camera angle that the judges may not have seen, but also in the same retrospect, there's been things that the judges have and can provide video evidence of, hey, look, you weren't as close to that rear zone or to that clipping point as you thought you were. So that's why they do it. Every driver's entitled to right, and we want to make sure that everybody gets the correct clarification and reasoning behind the judge's call. So on that, they're back to us. Oh, there's the camera. All right, cool. I was like yesterday, I was looking around. I'm like, yo, where's that?
They had a little further away yesterday. We got our close-ups today. Hopefully they don't do high vis like they did at the end of the day.
Oh, at the end of the day, man. You could see, especially today, you're going to
see looking like razors.
See how rough it is. Usually we do competitions on Saturdays and run into Sunday for fun runs. And then this weekend we're doing our double headers. So it is a little bit difficult on us, I guess, just having the team and the production and everything like that running 2 days instead of one. So it's kind of competitions usually take a lot out of you. There's a lot of scheduling and just a lot of moving parts. So we appreciate all the drivers and spectators and fans that come out, support your significant other or your family or your friends. That's like one thing I always say, there's no better weekend than the one at the racetrack. So speaking of racetracks, well, we got this downtime. I want to thank Rockingham Speedway for having us here at this beautiful racetrack. Obviously, if you've been with us for a while, you've seen the improvements that the track's putting into this place. They're doing all kinds of stuff to get the track in better shape and make things better for everybody. You know, obviously the addition of the new pavement. So again, just like yesterday, I forgot what I was talking about.
Yeah,
I hear
so
the horn.
I will give a little more information. Evans's pit, they didn't actually end up protesting anything, but they did want a detailed clarification, which they're happy with now.
Okay,
So
awesome.
they're satisfied, and we're moving on.
Well, yeah, back to it. Yeah, the track making awesome improvements. So here we go. We're going to have Dustin Walker leading Vlad Coulihan. So right there, both running the same chassis, just different power plants. Got Dustin Walker running with the stock VQ.
And what does
V6.
Coulihan have? Does he have a VH?
I believe Coulihan, I don't know if it was a VH or I don't know why I wanted to think LS3, but
Okay.
very well could be VH, but I'm going to go to say V8 of some sort.
Yes, definitely.
So you got
V8.
two extra cylinders in there, give you a little bit of a power advantage. So they're going to swap roles, and Vlad's going to lead, and Dustin is going to chase. Dustin had a pretty good day yesterday, getting third place.
For sure.
So see it, Vlad coming in, throwing a lot of power into that first part. Dustin able to keep up with him. Vlad coming a little bit shallow of that rear zone, nice flick back, and this is where it'll be time to party. Tighten it up and see what we do coming into that last curve. Looked like Dustin got a little bit, threw a little bit of angle, kind of blew some smoke off, but we'll
Pretty
see
clean.
here in this replay what we got. So it's a really nice entry from both drivers, pretty much holding the same exact line up until this point. Seems like they're both running the same line. Vlad runs a little wide, and then it looked like Walker just let it float out just a hair longer, and that could have been the choke up on the end. Nothing
definitely
nothing
reeled him
too
in and
bad.
put it on his door
But
pretty
then
much.
again, whenever you get into, the old saying goes, don't leave it in the judge's hands. You want to definitively make your statement and make sure that, you're saying, hey, dude, I won this. You don't need to ask any questions. It's clear. So, and that's what it is. Again, like we mentioned yesterday, your lead driver, their whole goal is to put down a 100-point qualifying run.
Yeah.
So in the lead driver is to put down the absolute best lap they can.
And
So
keep it consistent throughout the
Absolutely.
whole competition.
And then again with the follow car, you want to mirror their line, angle, and speed. So basically, you want to be a floating magnet. So anywhere the lead car goes, you want to be right there and chase. So that's why we kind of tell everybody too in drivers meetings and stuff like that. If you tandem with a lot of people, tandem with a bunch of different people, because it's going to open your eyes up to different lines. Some of these short tracks, there is only one or two lines that you can take to make it flow really well. But on other tracks, if you tandem with a lot of people, say you're running your line, and then you go up against somebody and they run a completely different line, well, guess what? You're not prepared for that. So again, tandem with everybody you can. Learn different lines.
All right. And they said Dustin Walker gets the win.
Dustin Walker with the win. So right there, taking out Vlad. I believe Vlad is a part of the
Tony versus Shaky.
Tony Motors crew.
Tony leading Shaky. Go ahead and send them.
So here you go. Anton Shenderov leading Cory Shake Mendenhall. Anton coming around. You see a little bit of left foot braking. Going to try to push it out wide into that zone. It seemed like a little bit off throttle coming around that transition, but Shake is right there to say, hey, dog. I don't need a Ring camera. I'm knocking on your door right now, dude. I do apologize out there. Y'all, we hear some cheesy jokes today. I believe it was Goodman. All right, so Shake going to come around with that V8 powered S13 against Tony. Tony, I believe, has basically just stock chassis car with some suspension. I believe it was a motor swapped tune on there, but not nothing crazy. So there we go. Shake going to pull off. We'll see what kind of entry Shake does here. It looks like going to do just a little mini e-brake and/or a flick. So getting there, putting the gap on Anton there a little bit. Looks like Anton trying to cut line quite a bit to get up in there, but definitely finishing out well where you need to be. Kind of floating in, trying to get in that pocket. Say Shake did a very good job on that lead run. Both drivers coming into that first corner pretty good. A little bit out from the rear zone there, but into that second touch it goes. Shake's right on it and into that rear zone. Then we had Tony Drives was right there in the pocket. Definitely running the same line and doing a good job in chase. Just could have seen just getting a little bit closer, reeling in that proximity a little bit, So we'll see what the judges have called on that once they make their decision, which I'm sure is probably going to be nitpicky because that one there wasn't really much, anything really to define a clear winner. So it's going to be.
That one goes to Mendenhall, goes to Shake, 240.
All right, judges call. Shake Flair gets the win. So right there, that could be definitely a points shakeup. Tony Drives, Anton Shenderov was, or still is, to this point, current points leader. Definitely got a, I believe it was 28-point gap in that. So definitely getting into top 16, definitely going to help that out. So there we go. Now next we've got Wish LZ with the Canadian train behind him.
Russell, Canada.
Fair driving from both drivers.
Yeah.
I was in here getting this bracket finished up here and seeing where we're at. So now we'll be getting into so this will be the last battle. Or no, this will be the first battle into our top 8. So there we go. Driver's going to switch roles. Russell, Canada, coming in. Andy doing a good job of sticking on him right off the rip. Both drivers doing exactly what they need to do. Got Rogue Cone again. Let's see if Russell can get into that rear zone. Looked like a little bit off from it, but finishing out strong. See that? This may be another one where the judges may have to deliberate again. We'll see the replay here on the MBK Productions replay. So right there, see Andy kind of diving in tight, maintaining about the same proximity throughout the whole entire course until you get right about here. Then you'll start reeling them in on that backside on that finishing corner right outside of that outside zone. So as the drivers make their way down to the pit stop with Anthony Woods, we'll see what driver has advanced. So drivers up next, we're going to have Brett Diart versus Paul Smith will be our next pairing. Paul Smith in the blue 350Z and Brett Diart in the white with the pink maroon front end there. See that? That car's got a good rake on it. Brett coming from the dirt track background. See that? So obviously there was probably some things that had to go into consideration with the judges having to deliberate. You know, again, nothing that really defined a win. So could it go one more time? Could it be swayed one way or another? Man, Russell Canada taking out Great Champion. Great Champion been driving pretty good this year. You know, last year did very, very well. This year started doing very, very well. You know, it's just one of those things where do you have some drivers that are just you're going to have to watch out for the years coming, man. You know, it's we're here to build drivers to send them to the Pro-Am level, get them introduced to competition driving and the lifestyle that goes with it. Luckily here at Rockingham Speedway, we are blessed with the tire costs being down, you know, with the new pavement and stuff like that. In competition, that's a big portion of, you know, the money that you spend, because let's be honest, you get your car, you want it to be consistent, so what are you going to do? You're going to run all the same tires, all new tires. You just want to go out there for fun runs and stuff. Yeah, there's no shame in your game getting them out of the dumpster. So here's what we got. Word from the judges. They are going to go with an OMT battle one more time for Andy Wright and Russell Canada. So they're going to go one more time. Get that. So again, you know, for drivers, you want to make sure that you are doing your best in lead and chase and not letting the, you know, you don't want to have the judges deliberate like that. Again, you want to make sure that it's a, you know, I won that. Now, getting up into the top 8, obviously you're going to see more and more and more. It's going to kind of more be critical calls just because the driving level is so good. Everybody that gets into the top 8 is very consistent and very good drivers. So, might see a little bit. All right, looks like they might do a, all right, they're gonna have one of the grid workers is gonna go ahead and, looks like Andy is dragging a side skirt from probably getting into that rear zone. So they're gonna go ahead and see if they can't get that fixed up real quick. You don't wanna have a piece of your vehicle fly off when you're, especially in lead, and get caught up in the chase car. Could be detrimental. And or cost you the win if you run a good line. Definitely seen that before where, you know, drivers have been, if they wouldn't have lost the body panel, they would have won. But kind of, you know, the chase driver had to move to swerve it and or, you know, make a correction to get out of the way of a big bumper or nothing. You don't want that thing getting sucked up in your wheel or, you know, tearing a power steering line off or a cooling line or hit a brake line. So here we go, OMT battle number 1. Got Andy Wright paving the way. This is like Russell Canada doing a pretty good job from this side, looking over the overhead view. Just seems like shallowing up angle a little bit again there. That's where we're going to see, seems like what's going to be the nature of the beast there is a lot of people going to shallow up a little bit, getting around that last corner. So we'll take a look at the replay here and... Yeah, both drivers running a pretty good line. Andy coming out a little bit wider in that switchback, getting to that rear touch and go and into the rear zone. Looked like Canada was a little bit on the inside line, so we'll see what happens here. We'll see if Canada can't get out, throwing out a big e-brake initiation. Getting nice into that rear zone. Nice transition. We'll see that touch and go nice and wide, and here we go for the money. Getting that tail end up into that rear zone. So you know for sure that was kind of another one of those ones where it may come down the lead. Both drivers did pretty good in both positions.
You got another protest. Anton.
All right, so looks like they are giving the man back his prized possession of a side skirt there. take that home. There is still a somebody's missing a blue bumper off of a 350Z. There's still one out on track. So if you're missing a rear bumper for a blue 350Z, just let us know and we'll get that back to you. Out here on 2. So there you see it. Somebody's blue bumper. Oh, is somebody claiming it down there? Let's see. So right there, the judges are going to deliberate for the winner of that battle, and after that, we are going to take a slight pause again, have a driver protest to see why the reasoning of the call was made the way it was. I'm not going to harp back into it. We already had done explained what the protests are and stuff like that. There ain't no shame in the game. We do it for free. Sometimes people do charge the protest. Sorry, there we see a hood up. Hope everything's good down there. No fire, nothing. Don't see no smoke. All right, judges call on that one after the one more time. Andy Wright getting the win. All right, so we had 2 judges going toward the win for Andy, and one judge stayed in the center for the OMT, and 2 judges slid right for Andy Wright. So Andy Lacoste Wright is our Timu LZ, Wish LZ, however you want to do it. Rumor on the street has it he got some door cards that say Wish LZ on there. Now we're going to see on the front stretch, that's going to be our top drivers coming in for the day. So once again, we're going to take a small break and let the judges talk to Mr. Anton Shenderov for the drivers' protests. That battle, just to reiterate, was between Anton and Cory Shake Mendenhall. Going to.
No, we're going straight all the way to the finish.
I feel bad for those of y'all that can't watch the live stream. If you want to watch the live stream, we got it up in the garages, but man, there's some cool views coming off of these drones right now. We got the little TV screen, so they're getting view of the track and stuff like that. We're showing the fun run course. Again, just to reiterate, we always do competition and fun run course at the same time, so that way you get a whole day out of it.
No one gets excluded
Yeah,
for seat
no.
time. We're about
Unless
variety
you-
and seat time.
Unless you organize events. then-
Oh, yeah. Then there's a.
No, but it's all good.
Yeah. We do it for the people.
Absolutely. Like
love
I,
our drip
I
people.
always say, like the whole reason that I personally do this is just seeing the people, seeing the smiles when they come off track, man.
Yeah.
Just seeing everybody so hyped, seeing the smiles, seeing everybody get hyped. It's almost like feel like you're just giving gifts, man. It's like
Yeah.
I'm giving
And-
gifts of happiness.
And we often get drivers and other people, even spectators, to come up and just show appreciation, tell us how that we're doing a good job and that they're really enjoying coming out to our events and things like that. So
yeah, absolutely.
that really gives you that extra level of satisfaction.
Yeah, it does, because
Get you through
a lot of behind the
big dirt drop.
Oh, I see that
on
over
the fun
there.
course.
It's like they got it. I heard it. I was like, douche. But there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff. It is tough running events, just for those of y'all at home and those of y'all in the crowd. But the biggest thing is just like anything else, you have to be adaptive and understand things aren't always going to go perfect every time. We try to be perfect and as professional as we can. So again, just from this year, we're going to take it and make it better for next year. We used to have a pretty good routine back in the Myrtle Beach Speedway days, and then once Myrtle Beach Speedway closed, it just sucks having to drive by it every day, man. I have to drive by it every day for work, man. I drive by the track. They're getting the houses up now, or the condos, stuff like that. But yeah, we had a pretty good routine there, and then just a little backstory coming from Myrtle Beach Speedway. Once we found out on the internet they were closing, that kind of sucked too. But kind of traveled around, and then we were going to see a buddy of ours over at the drag strip, and was like, "Hey, man, we had to go talk to Rockingham and see what's up over there."
Bird's eye view coming right at us.
Yeah, definitely. And then so we was over there, and Marshall showed up, and I'm like, "Hey, man, you ready to go over there and talk?" And he's like, "Dude, I already been there, man." So he got the whole 9 experience, got the
full tour.
Yeah, the full tour and stuff like that. So, pay attention to. They're going to have some racing coming back here. They do their Crown 9 series.
Yeah. You came and checked that out. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, actually I did. It was, for me, the Crown 9 series, there's some drivers here. Lead car right here in the line, Brett Diart, his brother is driving. Mark Diart got, I believe, fastest qualifier for the day.
Yeah.
And
second place.
Yeah,
for
first
the
place
race.
qualifier and second place for the races. So that was kind of cool. Again, man, just keeping the track alive. So if you're local to Rockingham or close, come support the track. The track supports us and allowing us to have these events and drive our dreams and stuff like that. So we want to make sure that we are repaying the favor and coming to support the Rockingham Speedway with their very own Crown 9 series. So all it is just you get a Crown Vic. They do have their tech sheet or whatnot, what they do allow and don't allow.
Yeah. And there's some flyers around the property, and I'm sure Brett would be more than happy to talk to you about it. And
oh, absolutely. I believe they got their car out there.
Yeah.
Got some other drivers from us that didn't necessarily drive this past time, couldn't get the cars together, but definitely going to have a car in the series. So see here, Marshall went over to the judges' stand to see what was going on. So again, some other drivers that are going to be doing the Crown 9 series. Obviously, you got Brett and Mark Diart there. Derek Gaskins, I heard, has a car, and then Alex Bradley, who's local, slides with us here and there, got a car as well. So it's cool for locals. If I lived up here, oh man, I'd have one, because I love beating the crap out of cars. I try to get my little four-wheeler riding around. It's my form of entertainment. Another big old dirt drop over there. I might have to step away when Marshall gets back, put some cones over there. So again, seeing the judges' deliberation yesterday seemed to, we did have a lot of time allotted to this, so I think Marshall's over there to kind of put a time cap on it a little bit. When there's nothing to talk about, you talk about the weather. The weather's pretty good today. It's not hot, but it's not cool. Yesterday was pretty cool. Sun was hiding behind some clouds. Got everybody up here in the, looks like up in the stands, got their canopies set up. That's awesome. Oh man, I don't even know. I can't come up with a joke on the fly, man. Dang. But yeah, we'll see once these drivers get done with the judges. Obviously they're trying to both prove their points. we're very happy that, you know, everybody is respectful. Don't want any kind of drama or anything like that. Marshall over there being like the principal. He's about to call that time. If anybody here ever watched Chappelle's show, he's going to pull out the wrap it up box. For those of us hanging out, just want to make sure that you stick with us for the end, because after the competition, not only are we going to do the award ceremony for the drivers who win the competition round today, but also for the season. So we got some good season prizes out there. I would say a little bit about some of the sponsors, but Tony's going to come out. Staff worker going to come out and talk about our sponsors and stuff. Tony, that would be a good time right now, man. So you see that? We see all the goons under the tent. So here we go, getting back to the action. See if we can't be nosy on Marshall.
Yes, sir.
All right, so the
So
judges.
Marshall, what happened? What happened? Hey man, what happened?
After multiple attempts to get it overturned, the judges upheld what they had decided originally. They had, I think, 1 fault for the opposing driver and 2 faults for Anton, and that's what kind of pushed it over the edge from what I overheard a little bit. I didn't hear all of it, but that was the biggest thing I think that they wanted to withhold it or hold up their decision.
I got you. So it's one of those situations where, you know, it's kind of what we mentioned earlier with the driving. The driving's
so good
that you have to really, really nitpick, and
Yeah.
it comes down to, okay, well, you made one mistake here, you made one mistake here, you made a mistake here,
Yeah,
and
the
then the other
second
driver
mistake was the
doesn't make
deciding
one. So it's
factor.
almost a 2-on-1. So again, we just want to thank those guys for being respectful, and you know, the judges
Yeah.
and the drivers for, you know, talking it out. And
Yeah, when you're
being
first
adults
in
about it.
points too, you got to make sure that the call was 100%.
Absolutely. I mean, number one, that can make or break your season right there on the
Yeah.
last day. You know, if you're coming into round 4 in first place, and then boom, all of a sudden.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. You know, top drivers do get beat sometimes, but you know, and then like you said, it's just the slimmest of margins that's the difference.
There, Paul Smith coming in, initiating, dragging that e-brake. Diart kind of going a different approach, powering over. Going to try to reel him in here. Definitely got a lot of angle on that car, so able to throw it in right there, looking at pretty good lock, left foot brake, and dragging that front tire around that
extra angle there.
that corner. Got Mr. Vanderpool walking by,
Yeah.
the king himself. So again, too, any drivers out there, or, you know, if anybody ever wants to talk on the live stream, you're more than welcome to come up and, you know, talk about your battles, talk about your runs. So there we go. Driver's going to flip rolls. We got Brett Diart in lead in that white Mustang, and Paul Smith in chase. Looked like Diart coming around there. Just kind of drove around that first one. Not sure what was up. Maybe didn't want to overcook it into that first one, but the rest of the line looking pretty good. Coming around into that backside, finishing out, blowing them tires off. All right, back to that battle. The judges have made their call. They are going with Paul Smith for the win. I try to call it. So there we see we got Max Seabear in the four-door big body G.
All right, we got Max Seabear against Goodman.
Brandon Goodman in chase, Max Seabear in lead. Brandon Goodman in the OK Drift S13. Very nice initiation from Max coming through there. Let's see, gotten short of that rear zone, but make it up on that clip. Like Goodman running a little bit shallow of a line, kind of inside line all the way around. Didn't really get into that rear zone. We'll see here on the replay and see what the line looks like from up top. It's right there upon entry. Looked pretty good. Then looked like Brandon may have expected him to go a little bit wider. Kind of kept a little bit off of that touch and go, coming in on the inside of that rear corner there. So we'll see how that affects judging. Not necessarily mirroring line, but definitely doing a good job in chase. So coming in the enter with swap rolls, and it is going to be Seabear's time. So there we go. Goodman running a wider line on that. Still a little bit shy of that rear zone, but oh, right into the grid. So let's watch that again. I know Brian over there on grid probably having a heyday. That's probably one of the only pucker moments we've had this weekend here. So we'll see there coming around. It's like maybe just trying to give it a little too much sauce. Looked like just coming in a little shallow. May have over-rotated. You see there Brian with the fist bump. All right, well, due to that error, the judges are going to call Max Seabear with the win. All right, got a call. All right, so we got an instance on track over there. Looks like a vehicle got into the light pole, so we'll take a brief moment to make sure everything is good. That is not good on our end, I'll tell you that.
Just hit it from the other side.
That's a first. I've never seen, yeah.
Is there nothing colored? I thought they were tires.
That is a new light.
They did have tires over there one time, didn't they?
They had old tires.
They moved them over to the other course.
Right there.
Now they got it leaning. Like, I remember that a long time ago at Sear.
Are we gonna give it a minute for Marshall to get back?
Oh, over there at freestyle, yeah. The light pole got taken down. So right there is the Leaning Tower of Rock. Very, very, very unfortunate. Hope the driver is all right. We'll try to have to, on our end, fix that up and get that very unfortunate on our end there.
Wait, was it the Hellcat that hit it? Was it the 350Z that hit it? Because one knocked it over, the other one hit one that hit it.
Nope, took the one down at freestyle, yeah.
He's okay.
All right, word on the street.
A little less okay, but not bad so far.
Driver of the vehicle is okay. That's all that matters.
He's got a beast ass dash bar. Like
All right, Dustin Walker leading Cory Mendenhall. Dustin Walker coming in, throwing in that big old flick. Run a little bit shallow there, not necessarily into that outside zone like we want. Let's come around, let's see if we can tie it up in here. Getting pretty wide on the backside, and Shake is right there with him. Shake did a good job of tightening up on that latter end of the course. I mean, obviously right here we'll see in the replay. Walker getting in and then coming really, really shallow on that outside, that first outside zone. Not really in it at all, probably about 10 feet away. Getting into that final rear zone, looking to be picking back up on line, and Shaky was able to maintain drift and stay right there by the side. So the driver's going to flip rolls, and we'll see what kind of lean line Shaky's going to put down and see if Dustin can do a great chase. So right there, Shake throwing it in, and Walker right there with him. I say a little bit behind on the initial flick back, but definitely maintaining proximity throughout the rest of the course there. Both drivers finishing strong, about the same as it was on the lead run. We'll just have to see. It'll probably come down to lead the lead on that one. So again, I'm watching in the replay, just kind of seeing Shake got a pretty good line, got wider out there. A little bit of a late transition on that front clip, but definitely getting semi-close to that rear zone. Both drivers going to go down and see Uncle Anton and wait for the decision to be made by the judges. Yeah, this was the last battle in the top 8. All right, so the judges call. They are going to go one more time on that one. Drivers are going to roll around.
Do you know who won there? Max or Goodman? Okay.
It's right here, both drivers staged and ready to ride. Let's see if Walker can get a little bit farther out into that first rear zone. Looks like the line is a little bit better, about halfway out. Shake coming in the dive in and placing it perfectly into that pocket. Dustin getting a little bit into the dirt on that last portion. One tire off is okay. You get 3 tires off is a 0. So as long as you're maintaining at least, if you get 2 tires off, yeah, 1 tire off, minor deduction, 2, get a deduction, 3 tires off will be automatic 0. So as long as they're keeping it on track, no shame in the game. Just get a slight deduction possibly. So Shaky is going to lead for the second half of the one more time battle. Throwing it in, and Shake coming pretty close to them tire walls right there, running midline through that rear zone. Nice transition on the front clip and into that rear touch and go. Very nice, taking the track edge by storm and doing the victory lap, slinging it in. See that? Shaky trying to mess up the MBK team. I keep running, they're like, oh man,
Missed it.
Sorry, there as we see at home with the replay. What do you think? So again, maybe another tough call for the judges up there. It seemed like it was almost about the same exact run as the first one was, as far as placement and proximity and everything like that goes. Looked like it seemed like kind of about the same exact replay. So we'll see what they have to say. Got them down there with Uncle Anthony wearing his white Crocs. I'm surprised he still wore them, man. He got them signed by Hurt.
Oh, nice.
Hertech. So that's his little good luck charm. Anthony, I saw he got in the tire wall earlier over on the fun course this morning.
Hopefully the same
Yep.
corner he
And it's
already
not
had a
that,
little
you know,
scrubbed in on.
Just a little explanation on the tire walls. The tire walls are not there to, you know, hurt or damage anybody's car or anything like that. They're mostly there. There's a lot of spots on track that are rutted out from dirt drops and stuff like that. So we're more or less protecting the track and also at the same time protecting drivers' vehicles.
Extra motivation to keep you out of that area.
Yeah, because if you get into that, especially the course layout we're running now, on the first entry, you'll see the first tire pile. If you drop off that, my goodness, it'll rip your wheel off. I'm not even going to lie. There's some previous paving work underneath that's kind of jagged and sticking up.
We're definitely
And
going to
then
have all that taken care of by Havoc, though. That's our next big one. Last one of the year.
So we're going to be out here,
Big
for those of y'all that
party.
know us before, you know, and try to get with the track and put some work in, do some concrete work, try to get some places patched up, because not only...
Looks like Dustin Walker shut it down early before the end of the track.
All right, judges call. They are giving it to Cory Shake Flair Mendenhall. Basically, what the judges have said was Dustin Walker on the last turn had shut it down earlier than needed, and you know, with that,
Was the slight deciding
So
factor
let's see.
there.
On his chase. So the end of the judge is the start-finish line. He shut it down early and was in opposite drift before the start-finish line.
so there you go, straight off the judge's breath.
Yeah. And I'm glad he's able to hear that right at the finish line. So hopefully that doesn't require, you know, get that explanation out right out front to where he doesn't need to come get the explanation from the
Yeah,
judges.
and it seemed like, I don't know, in that case, I don't know what had happened, because he was pulling all the way through. You know, they were told at the drivers' meeting that, you know, the start-finish line, you were to drift all the way through that.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you let out early, that's one of those things when the driving level is to where it's at, and you know, neither driver is making mistakes. That's how petty it comes down to. You know, it comes down to that little petty stuff of,
Yeah.
oh, well, you looked left when you were supposed to look right, kind of thing. Not necessarily in that order, but you know, it comes down to that. Hey, you tied your shoes wrong today, or something. You know.
See on any kind of clock or anything? Paul Smith, Blue Z. Did he call 5 minute or no?
I think he's coming around the back right now.
Paul's on his way now. Beautiful. He's out here.
All right, so we're just seeing what we got. We got Paul Smith entering track now. Paul Smith will be going against Wish LZ.
Judges, who won between Max Sear and Goodman?
That was Seabear.
So for those of y'all at home and those of y'all in the crowd, we are now getting into our top four. So the top four battles are about to commence.
That's right. So in the top four. All right. So we're going to have Andy
Yep. so you're
Lucas
gonna-
Wright.
Yep. So Andy Wright versus Paul Smith, which we see on grid at the moment.
I thought they said shake one.
I thought it said shake one, though.
Oh, yep, you're right. Sorry.
Dude, coming out strong. So this being your first battle in the top four. So you got, obviously we just saw there, Andy LW leading, Paul Smith. They'll come back around, and Paul Smith will be leading. Then on the other side of the bracket, up next after this battle, we are going to have Max Seabear versus Shake Flair. If he's ever flare chopped you, let me know. Let me hear a woo if you've ever been flare chopped by Shake Flair, because I'll tell you what, man. That junk hurts.
It's deep.
I got flare chopped so bad one time they permanent marker outlined it. It looked like a mitten. So here we go. Paul Smith getting that wheel, man, with that e-brake. You can see it just hopping along. Getting nice out in that rear zone. See right here, the rear touch and go coming through and shallowing up line just a little bit, but Andy right there to put it on the door.
Ooh,
both drivers finishing over the finish line, so no discrepancies there.
That was a little pun there, Zach. Andy Wright there.
Andy right there.
Andy
Should I write
right there?
Should I write a song? Andy right there.
That one's unanimous for Andy Wright. Unanimous for Wright.
All right, so the judges have made their decision. It was unanimous for Andy Wright.
Moving on again.
Dude, is he gonna pull a twofer?
He's inspired by our judge
So
today.
right there, that's taking Andy into the finals. We'll be facing the winner of the next battle. Darren, you ain't allowed to, we see you out there cheering on track. Just because that's your teammate, you ain't allowed to say nothing, man. Keep it. It ain't done yet. But it's podium, though. I feel you there. I like talking trash to him. Be like, don't be excited yet, man. But yeah, that is very interesting that Andy's coming through the. Obviously, did have a bye run into the first, but definitely had some tough competition. With Russell Canada and Paul Smith. Both of those drivers seem to, Paul Smith we've seen before. Obviously, he had won round 2. Russell Canada, first time at the track, I believe came from the Atlanta area. So it was cool to have you here, Nice to meet you and all that. And look, man, you got pretty far in the comp.
Definitely have to come back next year and
Yeah.
run a full season, man. He's a contender for sure.
So definitely, So right here we got Max Seabear is going to pull over here and warm up tires. See some of our comp drivers over there on the fun run course. So got Max Seabear warmed up his tires and is approaching grid. On the backside we've got Shake Flair giving it a little romp, 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 romp. Get them tires warmed up. Let's see if Shake Flair can chop the competition down and move into the finals. Or will it be Max Seabear? Max always been, obviously Shake been around a long time. Shake is an excellent driver by nature. Got a lot of experience, been around a long time, definitely an OG of the sport.
Sounds like you're calling him old, man. I'm in that same category, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, you are too. Been around a long time, old head. Shake been around a long time, done a lot of stuff. Motorsports, him and I used to, pit on a Pro-Am team together with each other, so we got a bunch of stories. And then Max Seabear coming out, always done very good in competition, always been very consistent and moving along, but just minor mistakes have always took him out of the battle. So here we go, Shake going to lead the second half of this top 4 battle. Shake slinging it out, coming a little bit shallow on there, but Max is able to maintain the line. Oh man, what happened there? So I'm not sure if that was something caught in oh, okay. So it looks like it was a little bit of a transition. We got Shake's bash bar hanging off the back. So we'll see this in the replay and see what happened. So looks like right here, maybe when they go around to switch back, oh, right there, it looks like it got hooked up.
Huh, a little nudge.
Little nut the butt action.
Little too close, I guess.
So I'm wondering if just the way it looked like Seabear just got hooked into that transition.
Didn't let him make.
Yeah, didn't have
the
enough
turn.
breath through there, so when Shake's coming around transition, hooked up right there, you can see where it definitely causes Shaky to straighten up, and then you see Max Seabear go off track once that rear bash bar is broken off. So that's definitely that's pretty wild. I've personally never seen that in battles with at least within our series there.
Well, we did have that one time when Joe Love and Jason Richards got the
Oh,
car
when they got stuck together? Yeah, they were like the two dogs you had to
Took them
squirt
like
with water,
10,
man.
15 minutes to get them apart.
Yeah, man. Where's the pool at to throw them into, you know? Isn't that how you get dogs unstuck? I don't-
Splash cold water on them or something.
Yeah. But yeah, I do remember that. So let's see with that. I know that they definitely want to check the vehicles out and make sure nothing got punctured and or ripped off. We'll wait for the judge's call on that and see, you know, I have my opinion on
Mendenhall. Mendenhall, he's pulling in to address the bash bar right now.
All right, so let's see here. All right, and judges have confirmed Mendenhall gets the win. We'll see that with Max, obviously. You know, kind of what sealed the fate there was just getting hooked into that rear bash bar, just not letting, essentially not letting there be enough room for the lead driver to transition. So
Remember yesterday, man, there were so many times Max was so close, we thought he was making contact.
dude,
but
that
he
one
wasn't,
time,
man,
yeah,
but-
one time I thought he was gonna get the, I thought the front of his car got ripped off, but it was like, dang, man. So definitely leaving room for transition is one of those things. Usually you don't typically see it too much, but it happens, and that was the case just then. So unfortunately, taking yourself out by getting hooked by Bill Dance himself. So Shake's new name might be the Angler, hooking everybody. So for your final battle, for the gold, I believe it's been a while since Shaky has been up in the ranks. You know, Shake always comes out, does a fantastic job in competition, but I believe it's been a while since he was first and second place. Actually, back in my heyday, I podiumed with Shake one time as well. I believe he got first
Nice.
and I got second.
Heck yeah.
That's the best I ever did. That's the only time I ever podiumed. And it was, I don't want to tell the truth why I won.
Might have been a
Somebody
gift.
drove the wrong way off the track, so I think they didn't know what they were
Intimidation.
doing. So it gave me the second place win, and I was like, all right, cool, man. So in my background, I'm the great procrastinator on saying I'm building my car, but it's been down for, what, 3-4 years now. Actually blew it up here at the Rockingham Speedway.
And has been afraid to return ever since.
Yeah.
Nah, just kidding.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. Back when I was driving, just even 4 years ago, it's like, yo, you're killing it. Now it's like, man, that's mediocre. The driving nowadays is so good.
Yeah.
But we'll be back. But yeah, back when I used to compete, man, it was pretty challenging sometimes. So I got this moment, obviously, if heard the judges earlier talking about Shaky was in the pits addressing that rear bash bar. I mean, obviously you don't want to have anything happen, falling off during battle or anything like that to cost you the round. So this moment in time, we'll take a moment to, once again, we got some pretty good prizes up for the round and for the season winners.
Yeah.
So just going through the sponsors, you know, obviously without them we wouldn't be able to, you know, pass the prizes on to the drivers. So we want to give a very special thanks to all of our sponsors. Got Nate McDuffie with Driftaholic Racing. Driftaholic Racing getting all of our tires. If you have had your tires changed today and or bought tires for the event, you probably spoke with Nate and got them done over there at the trailer with Driftaholic Racing. So I want to thank them. They're giving Set of tires out to the winners for the round and for the season. We got Olivia Walsh with Hunky Dory Design. Going to do a gift card for a livery. So getting your good livery design out there. Up next, we got Bridge Moto. So, you know, if you need any kind of safety equipment, driving suits, shoes, knickknacks, shirts, apparel, most importantly, safety equipment.
Got to be safe.
Yep, go check out Bridge Moto. If you're over in the Georgia area, also go check out their little togue spot, man. They had a thing over there the other day. Doing a lot of mountain runs, just car culture, embrace it. That's one reason I love Bridge Moto, is just embraced in the car culture and also having some awesome products. So they will be providing prizes for the round winner and the series winner. Up next, we've got Cruisin' Auto and Performance up in Fayetteville, North Carolina. So if you're in the Fayetteville area, I would say there, you know, that JDM specialists do a lot with G's, Z's, got some Skylines up there, stuff like that, a lot of Nissans, but also working on all varieties of cars. Got an in-house dyno and can tune your vehicle up. Had some drivers go up there and get some final tunes on their vehicles and get everything kind of situated for this event and or the whole season. So I want to give a shout out again to Eric Cruzen and his team. Also, we've got Fortune Auto coilovers, some of the best in the game. Hand-built coilovers. Very good customer service. And then if you get, if they get messed up or anything like that, you can send them back. They can rebuild them for you. They're going to be providing our series winner with a set of Fortunato 500 coilovers.
This is the finals. Yep.
I'll get back to the rest just a second.
I won yesterday, yeah. I don't know. We're going to find out. I hope so.
Over him. I saw him on the screen. I was like,
yeah. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. Oh, that's right. Yeah, he got into it. Yeah. I'm just happy to be here, man. This is crazy. Yeah?
All right, good luck,
All right, thanks, brother.
All right, buddy.
hey.
All right, sorry about that delay. So yeah, Fortunato coilovers, giving away a set of coilovers for the season winners. Love working with them. So you see here, we're trying to get everybody set up for the next step. So you graduate from here and go to Pro-Am. Along with that, KBD Body Kits, serving out there, giving gift cards and certificates for KBD Body Kits. Best in the game, never break, never crack. You can run them over, throw them off a cliff, drop them out of an airplane, and guaranteed for life. Lifetime warranty on your body panels. And last but not least, we got Steven Larson, Turbo Time Subaru Specialist. Also can get you any kind of parts that you need. Turbo Time and Steven Larson are going to do a turbo of your choice for the season winners, so up to $4,000 value. Get you a turbocharger, and then you can also go over and see Cruising to get tuned. You got some coilovers, you got some safety equipment, got some livery, got some tires, got a body kit. So you're looking fresh. So again, want to give a big shout out to our sponsors and thank them. We try to give them a shout out in every post that we do. So without further ado, up on the line, we've got our final battle of the day. I tried to say that all good, So we got Andy Wright leading, Cory, Shake, Flair, Mendenhall. Andy trying the showboat, coming in with some speed. Going to try to push it out to that rear zone. Does a nice job of pushing it out there. A little bit late on transition, but still doing it a little bit late on that touch and go. But throwing it into that rear zone. Shake coming to dive in. And let him know, hey man, I'm here. I'm not going to let you get an easy win. You're going to have to work for it. So the flip that rolls around, you see the replay on your TV there. So I say Andy had a little bit of a late transition. Got into that touch and go just a hair, about right in time, but a hair late. But right there, Shake diving in and showing him who the boss is. Shaky representing the OK Drift crew out of North Carolina. Going to throw it in and see what Andy can do in chase. Let's see if Andy can apply the pressure as Shake did. Shake coming around, getting into that, nice into that rear touch and go, and getting into that rear zone. Andy not finishing out as strong as Shaky did in there, but nonetheless, both drivers doing extremely good runs. It looks like I hear the horn beeping and the siren screaming. The
Seems like
judges
they
are
have a
coming
decision.
down, so I would say they would have a decision. So there again, we're going to see the replay. So those of you at home, what do you think? Darren, take the smile off your face. Hey, at least somebody in your team's winning. Nah.
Roasted.
Nah, I'm just messing, man. So the judges have made their decision for their final call for the final battle of the day. So once again, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do our round winners.
Whatever you think.
All right, so for those of you that are remaining and those that can hear what we got going on, all right, so we're going to do the winners of the round. We're going to do right here in front of the bleachers, and then our winners for the series, so our winners for the year. Once we get done with this, at right about 10 to 5 o'clock, so that 10-minute window, we will all meet right over here at the MB Drift Camper, where the merchandise and stuff was, and right over at the MB Drift Camper. Following this announcement, we will do our series winners for the year. Present them with them big checks and hefty prizes. So again, be sure to join us after this at the MB Drift Camper for the series award ceremony. We would like for all drivers to be at the award ceremony, just to cheer on your fellow drivers, the comrades. So we'll see you in just a moment for the awards.
Well, that's for the series, ain't it? Zach, Eric, and Chris. I think Chris is flagging, and Eric. He's got that wireless mic in the ground. Yeah, I'll let. Yeah.
I got your cash. Do you want me to
Cash?
hold? Here, I'll hold this.
All good? Yeah, ready. Okay, so we got Sear. Yeah. All right, everybody. We'll go ahead and present our winners. We appreciate everybody that came out and attended today, everybody that watched on live stream. A little quicker today than yesterday, so that's good. Finishing at a decent time. Excellent driving all weekend.
Oh, you got the mic.
Yeah. So, just want to say thank you. Congrats to all the drivers here, everyone who got eliminated earlier but had great driving skill today. Great job, everyone. All right, without further ado, you guys know, third place, Max Sear. And then it all came down to Shaky and Andy for the final decision. All right, who got the win? I got first place trophy, champagne, the cash, the gift certificates, and the prizes. First place goes to Andy Wright.
Oh my God, yo.
So Cory gets second. Congratulations to him as well.
Ah.
Great driving, guys. Two in a row, back to back.
This is what it comes down to. Look.
Come on, shake it, shake it. Shake it.
Shake it like a salt shaker. There we go. All right. Congrats, guys. Amazing driving.
All right.
All right.
So, series.
Yeah, so we're gonna do the series winners right before or right around 5 o'clock, maybe 5 or 10 till right over there at the camper. We're gonna present the big checks, let you know who won for the season, first, second, third, and then Turbo Time's gonna present the Underdog Award. So the person they thought didn't get in the top running, but did so good all season, they wanted to present them with a $500 gift certificate as well. So we'll be back shortly and present those season winners.
I'm not mad at it at all.
Great.
Third, man, that's awesome. Hell yeah, man. Congrats.
He's gonna pick. I'm leaving.
Yeah, second place, baby. One more there, man. Awesome driving, man.
That was a year.
All right, yeah, let's clear the track. Let's do celebratory donuts. Give them some room. Just make sure y'all go that way. Watch out for the lift. Yeah, and then they're gonna go that way.
Tires back on this end.
Okay.
We got less to do when 5 o'clock.
Okay.
Good enough right here? Hopefully.
Yeah.
Perfect weekend, man. That was sick.
All right. All right, so thank you all for tuning in. We'll probably go live again briefly for the season announcements, but we're going to sign off for now. Thank you for tuning in. Extraordinary season. Glad you all were here to share it with us, those in person and online. So see you next time. From Mayy Drift, signing off.